layers. You do only layers, yeah.
We do layers, uh, turkeys, imported turkeys, broilers. But the broilers, we don't take them too far.
Okay.
Broilers, no more near holding to sell layers. It is nipa no we trade too much. I know we don't take it to the person. We will not do it. And then Plymouth Rock and White Fox. And then any other poultry, Sasso, all those ones.
So in a month or in a year, how much do you able to get?
I estimate it per cycle. So for every bird I brood, the profit margin is about 15, 16 cedis. That's for the 12 weeks.
Okay. Per one bed.
Yeah, for one bird.
So what
So
you
if you are doing 16 cedis for a bird and you are doing 1,000 birds, that's 16,000.
so currently how many beds do you have?
Currently, my bird stock is 3,250. But it's a cycle. Sometimes the one room can get empty. I have to replace it. We cycle.
Okay. Please can you introduce yourself?
Okay. My name is Samuel Ocho Sapon, the CEO of Agrodec Farms. We operate a poultry breeding center for layers, imported turkeys, broilers, white cocks, and then Plymouth Rock. Yeah, so that's what we do.
Okay, so what inspired you to start farming?
Okay, so farming has been uh, passion for many years. So I started because of passion. I originally started from 2013, and then in 2016 I stopped, and then I resumed in 2018. So my inspiration is I love farming, so that's how I started farming.
Okay. So why you stop?
Oh, at that time I was, let me say, a novice. So I was facing some challenges, and I was also in school. So I had to stop and then finish school before I come back to it.
Okay, so what challenge that you face?
Oh, at that time I was doing broilers. Some of the challenges were marketing, and then the production too. I didn't really know how to do it that much. So I stopped and then came back to it.
Okay. So after you come back, do you face challenge?
So 2018, I started with a different production. I started with quail. So it was better with the quails. And then I started it very small, continued from there. Later, I moved to the chicken, the brooding of chicken, and that's what I've been doing till now.
Okay. So because of you start before, so you able to get more experience? Okay. So how many bed you start with?
For the quails, I started with about 89 quails. But even with that one, when the person brought them, I lost about 30 plus. So eventually, I think I was left about 49. And then I continued from there, multiplied them. I had both the male and female. So I multiplied my number from there. And then I think around 2021, the early part of 2021, the business became a bit challenging. So that one too, that was when I shifted from the quail to the brooding of layers, and then turkeys and the other ones.
So the layers, how many bed that you start with?
For the first set of layers I brooded, I think I took about 120. Yeah, about 120 layers.
Okay, so what breed of layers do you have?
For layers, we have different breeds. We have the Highline, both the Highline white and the Highline brown. We have the Luman, we have the Bovan, we have the Isa, and then other breeds.
Okay. So your farm, what breed that you have?
Currently, the breeds I have now, I have Bovan white, Highline white, and Luman brown.
Okay. Okay. So with the tray, which one go fast?
They are all in the same range. It's like buying a Samsung and an iPhone. They are all in the same league.
Before you take the best, what procedure you take before you start sell them?
Okay. So before we bring the birds to the poultry house, we have to clean the room, remove all cobwebs. If the some dirt on the ground, you have to sweep everything, and then you have to disinfect the place. You have to wash all the drinkers, the feeders, and then um, after you've done the disinfection, you have to wait for maybe a day or two, and then you pour fresh sawdust. Then you use rubbers. Some people use sacks to cover the brooder house before the day olds arrive. When the day olds arrive, you provide them with heat. So some people use charcoal, some people use the heating bulbs and all that.
Okay. So when you go for the sawdust, that day you just pour it, or you do something with the sawdust before you pour onto the pen.
Oh, before you pour the sawdust, you have to disinfect the room.
Okay.
So after that, you pour the sawdust, and then sometimes we use mild disinfectant to spray on the sawdust.
Okay. Okay. So with the bulb and with the charcoal, which one is good?
I use charcoal. The bulbs and channel, some of them doesn't keep so long, so I use.
So if like you are using the charcoal, so if you enter the pen and the fire is too high, how do you know like that fire is too high for them?
Okay, so uh, this question is from experience. When you enter the Buddha room, there's a way you can tell if the heat in the room is enough for the birds. If you get there and then the birds are gathered so close to the heating source, maybe say asanka anaasɛ biribi a wasɔ gya no anaa biribi a wayɛ gya no, sɛ mo no aboa mo ho ano wɔ hɔ a, it means that there is cold in the room.
Okay.
If they've also gathered at the corners of the poultry brooding pen, it also means that there is cold in the room. But when you enter and then they are evenly spread around in the room, they are running up and down, eating, drinking, it means that the heat is enough.
Wow.
It means that the heat in the room may come up.
So when you bring the pen and you put the fire inside, what medication do you give to them?
So the first day when the birds arrive, you put them on glucose. The idea is that uh, they came from a hatchery, so they are tired. So glucose is for energy. So you put them on glucose. Depending on how it was, you either do glucose 1 day or 2 days for them to regain their energy. Then from there, there's a whole medication chart that we follow. But there are vaccinations you have to do on the way. You have to do the Gumboro vaccination. You have to do the Newcastle vaccination. And you have to do the fowlpox. Then you have to debeak them. Debeaking is where we trauma. So we use a machine to do that.
Okay. So that the all will take how many weeks?
Every week and what you do. So first week we do Gumboro. Some people do the Newcastle first, or they do the Gumboro first, depending on the area. If your area is prone to Gumboro, you do a Gumboro first. If your area is prone to Newcastle, you do a Newcastle first. So you keep on doing, and then you also have to do deworming. For deworming, we do it on the 7th week, and then on the 11th week. So every week, and the vaccinations you do, and every day, and then the medication you give. So you have to do the coccidiosis. Coccidiosis, some people put it in the water. Some people too put the coccidiostat in the feed. So, and some of the medications we give is antibiotic vitamin, pure vitamins, coccidiostat.
How long it take before you take it out?
Oh, okay. So the for chicken, the brooding can take like 1 week. But if it's a cold season, sometimes it can go like 2 or 3 weeks. If it's rainy season and those, now they have to go longer. But layers normally 1 week or 1 week and some few days. Sometimes even a bit less than 1 week. They don't need the heat again. They are okay. It's
Okay.
turkeys that we put the heat inside for longer. Now I can go like 3 weeks.
Before you take the fire, what do you check before you can take the chair, the fire?
Oh, you have to check the when the animals come. Their feathers are not grown yet, so they can't produce their own body heat. So it will get to a point where you realize that now their movement, they have become more active. They are growing, almost the sun. So the more they are growing, they don't need you to help them produce heat again. They can now produce their own heat. And some of these things is from experience. You watch them, you observe the birds, and that's how poultry is. You have to watch them. You don't just read a book or watch a video and you go and sleep. You have to observe. It's a practical poultry is practical. So you observe what is happening and then you respond to what is happening.
So after you, for the 1 week, what next you do? What activity that you do for the after the 1 week? After you, let's say like the temperature is okay, so they're able to, you can just remove.
That's why I said that we have medications you give and then vaccinations you do. But for layers, the first 8 weeks, give me 200, give me 300, give me 500, give me 1,000, give me. But when they are 12 weeks, so that's where we share the beds. So based on what the person has booked for, we do that. And it doesn't matter which part of the country you are. We have transport baskets that we're able to put the beds inside. We don't lose the beds when we are transporting them.
So like your method you are using with the farm. Well, I know some farmers are doing everything themselves. They go for the bed for the day old to they start laying. So compare with yours to the person that doing everything soon. Which one is profitable? Especially somebody watching us and want to know the difference.
Okay. So there are farms that have their own brooder space. But where we come in is that sometimes it may be a new farmer. A person doesn't know anything about brooding. The person wants to do 500 birds or 1,000 birds. The person doesn't know anything about brooding. So that's where we come in. The person can even be an experienced farmer. But what the person does is battery cage. Battery cage, only brooder house. Or the farmer can even be an experienced farmer. But he's not the one directly brooding the birds. It is his workers. His workers, they are not really experienced. They can't really do it. So that is where we come in. And I say, no farmer, the person doesn't have time. Because brooding, you
Okay.
need time. Just so you have one about 2,000 birds, you can't go and sleep. You can't go and relax. You can't be an absentee farmer. You have to be there, watch them, ensure everything is being done. So anybody needs our time now, and they bring us our time now.
So what's I know that you are not end of that. I want to find out. So if somebody wants to start poultry but they don't have enough capital, somebody can start with this method.
So if you want to try, if you want to start poultry, I think I advise that you can try with depending on your strength. You can test the waters with maybe 100 or 200 birds. See how it goes. When you were able to get it right, you can increase to 500. From 500, you go to 1,000. If you want, you can repeat the 1,000 again. From the second repetition, you can go to 3,000 or 5,000. Repeat the 5,000 again, and you can go to 10,000 if you want.
Wow. Okay, so like doing brooding for farmers, do encounter some challenge with the farmers
What kind of challenges?
with the maybe the bears are not
Okay.
healthy or something.
So we brooding, we are taking the risk for the farmer. Brooding to anything can happen. You can have vaccine failure. You can have disease outbreak. Anything can happen. You can wake up one day and your birds are just gathered at the corner of the room and you lose birds. So these are all the risks we take on the brooding side. But what we normally do is that if let's say we get an order for, let's say, 1,000 birds, when we are taking the day old, we will not take exactly 1,000. We will take, let's say, 1,200. 200 net count, yeah. Say, in case of anything, we can still be able to get the person's 1,000 for him, because anything can happen in brooding. It can be a problem from your supplier. It can be a problem on site. It can be a problem with your feed. It can be a problem with your structure. We are our structure and ensure in a good of anything can happen. So these are all the risk factors involved. Even where we buy feed, obia comexi feed or yare obia everyone is coming to is converging on the feed site or where the feed mill. Anything can happen. You can carry someone's disease to your farm. Anything can happen.
Okay, I want to give us a two estimate, but give us an estimate on this one first. The brooding. Somebody wants to start brooding. How much capital the person need to start brooding?
When we brood, um, for a bed in the first, let me say, 12 weeks, we spend roughly about 45 cedis per bed, including buying the day old.
Okay.
Yeah, rough. These are rough figures.
Okay. So what do you need to buy before you can start brewing? Like I'm talking about that somebody want to start what
The
we are doing
brooding.
here.
You need a structure. Um, you need the drinking troughs, the feeding troughs. You need medications, antibiotic, vitamin, pure vitamins, dewormers, and then you have to also be buying vaccines. And the feed you also be buying. Uh-huh.
Okay. So yeah, somebody is watching and you don't have any experience on brewing. The person can watch YouTube videos and start or
With brooding, yes, you can have an online session, but as much as possible, try and go to a farm and then have a practical experience. Because brooding, agrobedi. Even with people who are experienced, sometimes if you wait me out for any your mistake, you wait me out for any.
so can you give us estimates of one if you after you do brewing and somebody want to go into commercial layers. You do only layers, eh?
We do layers, uh, turkeys, imported turkeys, broilers, but the broilers we don't take them too far.
Okay.
Broilers no money ahoɔden to sell layers. It is nipa no we trade too much. I know we don't take it to the person. We will not do it. And then Plymouth Rock and White Fox, and then any other poultry, Sasso, all those ones.
Okay. So all poultry can do.
No, you can do all kinds of poultry.
Okay. So how much if somebody want to start commercial poultry, how much the person need to start?
Commercial in terms of how many birds?
Let's say 10,000 less, or just say or use 1,000.
1,000 birds. After you have built your structure, you need about 80,000 to 100,000.
80,000.
200,000.
So the 80,000, what go into it?
The 80,000 includes buying your day old chicks. The feed you'll be using for the first 5 to 6 months when they start laying. The workers' salary you pay, your utilities, water bill, light bill, your drinking troughs, water troughs, all these things.
Okay. So like the brewing you are doing is profitable.
Yeah, it's profitable.
So in a month or in a year, how much do you able to get?
I estimate it per cycle. So for every bed I brood, the profit margin is about 15, 16 cities. That's for the 12 weeks.
Okay.
Uh,
Per one bed.
yeah, for 1 bed.
So what if
So if
I'm
you are doing 16 cities for a bed and you are doing 1,000 beds, that's 16,000.
so currently how many beds do you have?
Currently, my bed stock is 3,250. But it's a cycle. Sometimes the one room can get empty. I have to replace it. We cycle way we emoko. But I can hold 3,200, 250 at a time.
So okay. 3,000.
250.
3,000 beds. So that's a good calculation.
Mhm.
So then you have money. So for advice for somebody want to start poultry and somebody want to start brewing.
So anyone wants to do brooding or poultry, go for knowledge, go for training, and then if you don't have the money to start big, start small, so that you build the experience as you go. Because poultry can be risky. Poultry can be very interesting. I mean, anything can happen. So you should have the experience and then grow from there.
So what about the price?
Oh, the price is based on the age. So the white layer that is at 12 weeks goes for 68 cedis. We'll do the vaccines, do the debeaking before the farmer gets it. And then the brown is for 65. But um, normally what we do is that sometimes some farmers may do a pre-order. Pre-order is that do it for me. So maybe I want 1,000 beds, 2,000 beds, do it for me. That's a pre-order. But normally what happens is that when we have stock, people book, and then when they are ready, we supply to them. That's what we do.
What's waiting that you can't do brooding for them?
So we do a nationwide delivery. So far, I've supplied to Ninehini, Kumasi, Honum, Eastern region, Central region. So anywhere you are, we can send it to you.
Okay, so
I've supplied to the north.
wow.
Uh,
So your telephone number and your location.
okay, so the farm is located in Accra, Dummy Pillar 2, and the telephone number that's for Agrodep Farms 027 607 9947.
Okay. Please your social handle.
Facebook, we're on Facebook. So Agrodep Farms on Facebook.
Okay. Thank you very much.